This week, Return of the Jackson. Wait, can that be right? This June, we'll celebrate Pride Month once again with Marvel's Pride variants, and we've got your exclusive first look at some of the covers. Created by LGBTQIA+ artists, so far we have Sana Starros on the cover of Sana Starros #5, Domina Tag on Bounty Hunters #35, Just Lucky gracing issue #1 of The Mandalorian Season 2, and Magna Tolvan on Darth Vader #35. The final 3 in the series will feature Cinta and Vel from Andor on the cover of Star Wars #35, Dr. Aphra on Dr. Aphra #33, and Cantum Psy on Yoda #8. And holy hutch, Jackson's back! Today we're excited to reveal the cover for a very special convention exclusive from Dark Horse Direct, Star Wars Hyperspace Stories Annual Jackson 2023. Written by Cavan Scott with interior art by Nick Brokenshire, you can only find this cover art by comic legend Mike Mignola at Star Wars Celebration Europe. For more on where to get your own and the story that lands our favorite Leppy smack in the middle of an Ewok civil war on Endor, set coordinates to starwars.com/thisweeknow. We need a vacation. Next stop, episode 13 of The Bad Batch, Pabu, or skip ahead to the timestamp below. Our spoilers this week are served with a tiny umbrella. When the Batch decides they've had enough of Sid's tough love, they cut ties, but where to next? Luckily, Fee invites them to join her on Pabu, her tropical home and a safe haven for refugees.
A little stability might do you all some good.
Point taken. Omega and Clone Force 99 have been having a rough time of things. Time for a nice relaxing cruise and, oh no, one natural disaster later and...
I was thinking we could stay and help out with things.
Finally, a happy ending! Come back next week for Tipping Point, a title that surely means nothing more can go wrong. And don't forget to check out the latest episode of The Mandalorian Season 3 with Chapter 19, The Convert, taking us back to Coruscant to check up on some former Imperials finding amnesty in the New Republic. What new adventure awaits? See for yourself now, only on Disney+. We're so excited for the new season of The Mandalorian. Recently, we sat down with none other than creator Jon Favreau and executive producer Dave Filoni to talk about their own journey to Mandalore. Have a listen.
You haven't watched the show?
All right,
It's really good, yeah.
Speaking of all those Mandalorians that we're going to see in Season 3, how do you map where all those factions are, who they are, where they come from in the galaxy?
Whiteboards.
That's true.
Whiteboards.
Whiteboards and trust trees.
Yeah. It goes beyond just those groups, right? So John and I know we're in this time period post Return of the Jedi that, you know, in some ways we think of as all the way up to Episode 7. So you always move between big known things in the cinematic world. And we plot those out. We discuss groups. We discuss characters. We discuss who should come into the story or who should not. You know, it's a layered thing. And obviously, you know, by the 3rd season, we have a lot of people in play already. And so characters like Bo, it's more getting down to what are they about, you know, and if it makes sense to bring somebody else in, we will, but it's all valuable to us to understand what's going on in the greater galaxy so you understand the history of the period, which informs our characters.
And it was pretty fresh snow for a while, you know, so you had clues from what we knew from the movies that came before this. We know what's happening after, and we knew the Clone Wars, and then there's even EU material that had been embraced by the fans. So, you know, we want to account for everything and take everything into consideration. But now we also have stuff that we've done, and we also have Ahsoka, and we have Skeleton Crew, and we have other stories that are taking place that we want to make sure are consistent, and that as we pulse through the different little moments of the time frame, that we're all on the same page as we're working through that. And Dave's really the pivot point for all of it, as well as the other things that are happening before and after this.
John, you started out as pre-Vizsla.
Yes.
Does that make you feel more connected to what you're doing now with The Mandalorian?
Life is weird how it all kind of, like in retrospect, looks like it has followed some path. But at the time, it just felt like we were doing things that seemed fun and cool. And I definitely feel a connection to
The Darksaber.
Because I was the first one to
claim a
wield
lot of
it.
ownership.
Because that was a rewrite, too.
Oh.
It was.
George,
I did not have I had a vibroblade.
Yeah.
And I finished recording all this stuff. And I get a call, you got to come back, we have to redo it. Why? George didn't think the logic of the vibroblade being able to parry a lightsaber. It had to be another lightsaber. So he invented the Darksaber, and I had to read the whole monologue about how it was found in the Jedi Temple and all this stuff.
This lightsaber was stolen from your Jedi Temple by my ancestors during the fall of the Old Republic.
And I was telling my wife, she's like, that's the coolest thing. He gets it. Like, that's
It's
the
a
coolest
great
thing in the world.
monologue.
And it's like, oh, it is cool. Like, this is great. And it became so cool that we ended up making a whole
lot more
TV
of
show
it.
about it.
Yeah.
So It was, again, George's instinct, so to know that something didn't sit right. And that whole idea, and how profound that thing is, that Tar Vizsla was both Mandalorian and Jedi, and those are two diametrically opposed warring factions. So what does that mean? These are the clues that we look for. These little anomalies and things are things that instead of shying away from, we sort of delve into and explore. Because they don't take their helmets off. In the Clone Wars, they're always taking their helmets off. So what's going on there? Pulled all that together in season 2 as they confronted each other, and now we see how all that plays out.
Oh, we'll see, John. We'll see. That's it for this week, but for more on these stories and other news from around the galaxy, check out StarWars.com. And be sure to join us right here for This Week in Star Wars every Thursday. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.